middle-aged security guard, Nathan, accidentally lost his job after helping an old lady who fell on the street. His act of kindness was not appreciated by the company. Unemployed and worried about the future, he did not expect that his kindness would open up an unexpected opportunity. Charles, the old lady's son, contacted Nathan and invited him to join his company with a promising job. When his life, which seemed to be full of hardships, suddenly took a different turn, Nathan realized that kindness can change his life. But will these opportunities be enough for Nathan to find true happiness again? Or will he face unexpected challenges? 4. Welcome to Kindness Stories, where each story is a lesson in kindness and positive change. Today we will explore the journey of a man who lost everything for kindness, but found opportunities he never imagined. Follow the story of Nathan, an ordinary security guard, and the miracles that kindness brought him. Nathan is a middle-aged man living in the suburbs, working as a security guard at a luxury apartment complex. He is not an ambitious person, but he is always hardworking and responsible. Every day, Nathan wakes up early in the morning, puts on his old security uniform, takes a big key, and starts his long shift. He not only monitors the area, but also helps the residents, from carrying things for the elderly to guiding visitors to find their way. Although the job seemed tedious, Nathan found joy in the simple relationships with the residents of the apartment complex. They smiled and greeted him whenever they saw him, and he always tried to be friendly and attentive. The elderly people especially liked him because he was always ready to help them, no matter how small or large. One of them was Mrs. Margaret, an old lady in her 70s who lived alone. She often walked around the apartment complex, and Nathan got used to seeing her every morning, walking slowly. Even though she didn't have much to say, Nathan always smiled and greeted her respectfully. One late autumn afternoon, as the late afternoon light enveloped the apartment complex, something unexpected happened. While Nathan was standing at his guard post, he saw Mrs. Margaret staggering down the sidewalk. Suddenly, she collapsed to the ground. Nathan rushed out of the post, leaving everything behind. He ran to her side, helped her up, and checked her condition. "Are you okay?" Nathan asked worriedly, trying to help her up. Margaret frowned slightly, holding Nathan's hand. "I'm probably just dizzy," she replied, but she was clearly weaker than usual. Nathan decided to take her to the hospital to get checked out. He called an ambulance and followed her to the hospital, never leaving her side for a minute. All the while, he felt like he was doing the right thing, even if it meant losing his job. However, upon arriving at the hospital and making sure Margaret was under medical care, Nathan received a call from the complex manager. He was informed that his actions in helping Margaret had interrupted his security work for over an hour. The company could not accept this and decided to fire Nathan immediately. "We understand your good intentions, but your job is to monitor and protect this area. We cannot let this happen again," the manager said without hesitation. Nathan stood there, stunned, a sense of sadness and surprise. He had never imagined that helping an elderly person would cost him his job. But in his heart, Nathan felt no regret. He could not abandon Margaret just because of a job. The next day, Nathan went home feeling depressed. He couldn't understand why a company would value working hours over kindness. After looking into his financial situation, he realized that finding a new job would not be easy, especially at his age. Nathan felt like a spiral of despair had swallowed all his hope. He didn't know what to do next. But that afternoon, an unexpected phone call came. Nathan picked up and heard a young man's voice. "Hello, this is Charles, Margaret's son. I want to thank you for helping my mother yesterday." Nathan was surprised and a little confused. He was just doing what he thought was right. "Nothing, sir. I just wanted to make sure she was okay," Nathan replied. The big man closed his eyes and smiled. "No, you don't understand. We appreciate your concern. My mother told us that when she fell, you were the only one who not only helped her but also made sure she was properly cared for. And that's why I wanted to invite you to meet me." Nathan didn't know how to react. A stranger was calling him for a small favor? Charles explained that he was a busy man and lived in another city, but he wanted to meet Nathan and talk in person. Aha, Harry answered. For the first time in days of frustration and anxiety, Nathan felt a glimmer of hope. He met Charles at a quiet coffee shop the next day. Charles was a polite man about 30 years old, with a calm demeanor and bright eyes. After they talked about Margaret, Charles moved on to other topics. "You know, I work in finance and I'm looking for someone trustworthy to join my team. In fact, I'd like to offer you a job at my company. I know this may come as a surprise to you, but I think you can do it," Charles said sincerely. "My company isn't just about work. It's about values like honesty and respect for others. You have the qualities we're looking for." Nathan was stunned by the invitation. He couldn't believe that someone like him would get such an opportunity, especially after everything that had happened. "But I'm just a guard. I have no experience in your line of work," Nathan said hesitantly. Nathan grinned. "It's okay, we'll train you. The important thing is kindness and hard work. The rest can be learned," Charles replied. Nathan couldn't refuse. He accepted the invitation hesitantly, but hopefully, feeling that change might be coming. Nathan started his new job at Charles's company early next month. As soon as he entered the company's modern office building, he felt like he had entered a completely different world from his previous security job. Formal meeting rooms, well-dressed and busy employees. The atmosphere was tense, but also full of professionalism. Nathan felt a little strange, but also very eager and determined to do a good job. From the very first day, Charles took the time to introduce Nathan to his colleagues in the department and clearly explained the tasks he would be taking on. Nathan was assigned the position of assistant project manager, a job with no previous experience. Charles believed that he would quickly learn and contribute to the development of the company. However, Nathan felt a lot of pressure. Nathan's first days at the company were a big challenge for him. The new job required him to get familiar with many project management software, communicate with partners and different departments. Every day, Nathan felt bewildered, having to work with numbers, contracts, and processes that he had never been exposed to before. During lunch breaks, he often felt tired, sometimes wondering if he could really do this job well. But he did not want to give up this opportunity, because it was not only a job but also a way for him to change his life. Despite the difficulties, Nathan was determined not to let himself sink into a feeling of helplessness. He tried to learn little by little. On weekends, when he was not working, Nathan would do more research on the industry and even take free online courses to improve his skills. Sometimes, his colleagues noticed Nathan's persistence and started to support him more. One of his colleagues, Emily, a project management expert, noticed Nathan's efforts and started to help him with more professional working techniques. Emily shared with Nathan that she had experienced similar insecurities when she first started working at the company, but with time and perseverance, she overcame them. "You don't have to be perfect from the start. The important thing is that you keep learning and contributing," Emily said. Emily's advice helped Nathan feel more at ease, and he began to believe that he could do the job well. While the job was still challenging, Nathan noticed positive changes from working here. He met and collaborated with smart, talented people, all of whom had a serious work ethic. Nathan not only learned from them, but also gradually became more confident in his own abilities. He began to feel like an important part of the team, and not just an anonymous guard like before. One afternoon, as Nathan was finishing his first project report, Charles came to his desk and complimented him on the progress he had made. "I'm glad you're catching on so quickly, Nathan. You've been working hard, and I see you going far here," Charles said proudly. These words gave Nathan a huge boost, giving him more determination and confidence in the change this job would bring. One weekend morning, as Nathan was preparing to go to the company to finish his unfinished work, he received a call from Mrs. Margaret. She had returned from the hospital and wanted to invite Nathan to visit her. The feeling of surprise and joy made Nathan very happy. He remembered her and the time he helped her before, when everything seemed to be closed for him. Now she wanted to see him again. Nathan arrived at Margaret's house that afternoon. As he entered her cozy little house, he felt a sense of peace and quiet. Margaret invited Nathan to sit down, poured him a cup of warm tea, and began the conversation. "Nathan, I know you are a humble person and don't expect much from others, but I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart," she said, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Not only did you help me in my time of need, but you also showed me that there are still good people in this world." Nathan shook his head, slightly embarrassed. "You don't need to thank me. I just did what I thought was right." Mrs. Margaret smiled, then continued, "But your kindness cannot go unrewarded. I want to give you a gift. A gift that I hope will help you have a better life." Nathan looked at her in confusion, not knowing what she wanted to say. "I know you just started a new job," Margaret continued, "and I wanted you to have a place to live, somewhere where you wouldn't have to worry about money or finding a place to live. So I decided to give you an apartment in the apartment complex where you used to work. This is my way of thanking you, Nathan." Nathan was so surprised that he couldn't speak. An apartment? He couldn't believe his ears. The apartment that Mrs. Margaret was talking about was a luxury apartment in the high-end apartment complex where he used to work as a security guard. How could she do this for him, a mere old security guard? "Are you sure? I can't accept such a big gift," Nathan said, his hands shaking with emotion. "Sure, Nathan," Margaret replied. "I just want to help you have a better life, and I know you deserve it. Your kindness will be rewarded, and I trust that you will continue to do good for those around you." Nathan felt choked up. He could not believe that, after all his failures and hardships, he could receive such a great gift from someone he had only helped once. He accepted the gift with deep gratitude, feeling that kindness can truly change lives, and it changed his life in an unexpected way. Receiving the apartment from Monsieur Margaret, Nathan not only felt like he had a new home, but also felt the power of kindness and the reward of life. That feeling is the faith, hope, and perseverance that never disappears. Nathan's life took a bright turn after he received a special gift from Margaret. The new apartment is not just a place to live, but also a symbol of what he has overcome. It is the result of perseverance, kindness, and the right choices he has made throughout the difficult journey. Every day when Nathan returns home after a hard day's work, he not only feels satisfied with his work, but also appreciates what he has. Entering the new apartment, Nathan was amazed by the luxurious and fully furnished space. The apartment had a view of the vast city with bright lights at night. This not only gave him a comfortable place to rest after stressful working hours, but also gave him the feeling of a new beginning. He spent a lot of time rearranging everything in the house, not in a hurry, but felt the serenity in every little item, from the soft sofa to the dining table where he could sit and enjoy a meal alone. Margaret continued to keep in touch with Nathan, calling him regularly to check on him and encourage him. "I know you will succeed. You have great potential, Nathan. Believe in yourself," she often said. Those words of encouragement became a strong source of motivation for Nathan to constantly strive in his work. At the company, Nathan's hard work paid off. Charles, who hired him, trusted him more and more. A month after Nathan joined the company, he completed a major project that contributed significantly to the success of the department. Feeling the recognition from his superiors and colleagues, Nathan began to feel more confident in his work. He knew that in addition to professional skills, the most important thing was human qualities: honesty, hard work, and kindness. One day, while Nathan was working with Emily on an important project, she looked at him and said, "You know, what you did before and what you are doing now, I really admire you. You are an example of perseverance and kindness." Nathan smiled slightly, thanked her, and replied, "I just do what I feel is right. I used to think that kindness was something that was easy to overlook, but now I realize that it can really change my life and the lives of others." The biggest change for Nathan was not just his new job and apartment, but the way he viewed the world around him. He began to help his co-workers more, not only in his work but also in his personal life. When he learned that one of his co-workers was having trouble taking care of his family, Nathan didn't hesitate to help, whether it was by providing financial support or simply listening and offering advice. A year later, Nathan was promoted to team leader on a new project the company was working on. This was a major turning point in his career. But what made Nathan happiest was not the title or salary, but the feeling of working in an environment where he was appreciated, where kindness and hard work were rewarded. More and more opportunities came to Nathan. He began to be invited to conferences, to share his industry experiences, and to become a leader that everyone looked up to. However, despite his success, he remained humble and respectful of others. "My greatest success is knowing that kindness is never in vain," Nathan often told his colleagues. Ultimately, Nathan's story became a great inspiration to those around him. Those who witnessed his transformation from an unknown security guard to a promising manager now realize that kindness and perseverance can bring unexpected opportunities, even great changes in life. Nathan learned an important lesson. In life, sometimes just a small act, a kind gesture, can create a wave of change, not only for the world around him. Nathan's story is a testament to the power of kindness, and that every good choice we make can lead to new opportunities, genuine relationships, and a more meaningful life. Thank you for joining us in this inspiring story about kindness and the amazing changes it can bring. Nathan has proven that sometimes small acts can open up great opportunities. Remember, in life, kindness is never meaningless and can always create positive impacts. We hope this story has inspired you to spread love and kindness to everyone around you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow more meaningful stories.